There's many times I feel stuck, or I feel trapped, where I feel that I'm in a situation I can't escape. And what I've learned is when I find myself, when I recognize I'm in those spots, to tell a story. And that story is the story of a caterpillar. Story of a caterpillar. Imagine being a worm, a fat, grubby worm, a worm that crawls above the ground, that can't hide, and you're fat and you have 1,000,000 legs, or however many legs a caterpillar has, and you drag your belly across the ground, and you spend your day eating leaves, and you crawl from branch to leaf and just eat, you consume, and you gobble it up. That's what your life is spent doing. Crawling around, eating, also avoiding being eaten because you're fat and you probably taste delicious. Then imagine one day you just get this splitting headache. You never had this kind of headache before. You spent your entire life not having headaches. Eating, crawling, avoiding being eaten, and there's a new sensation, and it's just painful, like someone slammed a hammer into the back of your skull and split it open, and that pain just shoots down through your body, and you don't have shoulders, you have a bunch of shoulders, because your whole body's full of shoulders and hips, because you're a roly-poly ground worm, and it all hurts. And you can hear like that pain. The pain has a message, and that message is you need to do something about this. You start coughing this stuff out. Just stuff starts spewing out your mouth. This gooey, sticky stuff, and it covers your 1,000,000 arms, and it gets over your jaw. And it slows you down, and that voice tells you that you need to hide, and so you vomit the substance from your stomach all around you, and you're still in pain though. It still hurts, and you continue to do this until your whole body's wrapped in it, and you built a blanket for yourself. Now, your whole life up until this point, it is your whole life. So you don't have a frame of reference as into how long it's been. You could have convinced yourself that your life as a caterpillar, your life consuming, eating, running away from all these birds and whatever that wants to eat you because you're so yummy, that's what life is. You have it all figured out until that day, that splitting headache, that blinding pain sears through you, and you don't know what this is. You have no one to tell you what this is, what you're going through, what you're dealing with. You have to figure it out on your own as it's happening in this moment. So you are reacting. You can't respond. You don't have any space from this, and you're vomiting all over yourself in this goo, this silk goo, whatever it is, and you're in pain, and you can only hope at this point that this goo will help you relieve yourself of this pain. That maybe in your sleep it will go away. There's no guarantee, there's no promise, there's no contract, and so you cover yourself. Maybe this was 7 days, maybe this was 7 weeks, 7 years, 70 years. It's all relative. It's been your entire life has been one way, and on this day you find yourself in a cocoon and you don't know what's going on. And day one, it's just something novel, but it's not a forever thing, you think. But you're in this cocoon, and in this cocoon, you don't have any sounds. Whatever sounds you have are muffled. Whatever light you have is muffled. I mean, you're essentially blindfolded. Your senses are taken away. Your movement's taken away. You can't crawl anywhere. You just hang, maybe upside down, right side up. It doesn't really matter. You've built a prison for yourself. And in this prison, you suffer. This prison is a prison of pain. And what's going on is your body's changing. Your fat little body is being distorted, and things are shifting. It's highly uncomfortable. There's nothing comfortable about this. It's new to the mind, new to the body. It's traumatizing, and you have nowhere to go. You have no relief. Before, you would look up and see the sun, see flowers, see ladybugs, see cats or whatever, see people avoid stepping on you. Some people liked you, some people didn't. So maybe you're a furry, maybe you weren't, doesn't matter. That's all taken away. You are stuck in this place. You put yourself here. You put yourself here because it felt right. It was a strategy to deal with this unknown thing, because you can't run away from yourself and you can't fight yourself. So you chose to freeze, to stay in place and hopefully heal. And so now you have to deal with yourself, deal with what is going on, and make sense of it, because there's no one to make sense of it for you. You are in a cocoon, you are in a pit, you are stuck, and it's partially your doing. Circumstances brought you here, and this is how you reacted. What now? What to do? You fall asleep, you wake up, and the pain's still there. You fall asleep, you wake up, the pain's still there. It doesn't go away. It doesn't explain itself away. You don't understand it. You don't know. You're in darkness. You're in a mystery. You're in a puzzle. You don't know when this will end. You're not even fully sure how it started, but you're too far from the beginning to go back. Going back is not even an option. This is your world. This is your life now. This is what you are. That fat, cute little thing you were. Are you still that thing? Your mind tells you horrible things, because your mind is only picking up on the pain you're feeling. And based on how you feel, you must be gross. You must be snot and pus and acid. Just erosion and decay and rot. 'Cause that's how you feel. So how can you think anything other than that? You don't have the liberty you once did. You don't have the freedom. You don't have whatever positive input you once had coming into you. You just have this pain that you have to figure out how to deal with, and you don't have the tools at the moment to deal with it. So that sucks. And it continues. And because you're shut out from the outside, you can't measure the distance. You can't measure the distance from when this started to where you are now. And so you're lost in it. The time spent outside of this thing is gone. You're in the middle of nowhere. And you're scared. You're scared because what if this is all it is? What if this is it? This is the rest of your life. You have nothing to compare it to other than your previous life, but that's done. And now you sit in the dark in this cocoon. But you don't die. You fall asleep and you wake up, you fall asleep and you wake up, and you continue to wriggle while in place and to shift, and the pain continues, but you also continue. Your life doesn't end. And you can feel things heal and build and grow, but you're not really sure what they are. Some of the pain goes away. This is over time. Who knows how much time? It doesn't really matter. All you know is you begin to heal at some point, and you begin to feel other things than just pain. And so you begin to think other things than just pain. And because you can think of other things besides pain, you can dream of yourself in other ways. And it comes to a point where instead of a surge of pain, you feel a surge of energy or vitality. And that same voice, whatever, the one that told you to retreat, tells you to expand. It's time to come out. But you have no idea what's out there waiting for you, because you've been in this thing for so long, for who knows how long. You don't know what's out there. It could be a bunch of cat eyes staring. It could be a bunch of bird beaks waiting to tear your chubby little self apart. But the voice dares you. The voice pushes at you to step out. So slowly you do. Slowly you start to pick away at this cocoon you built for yourself and try to pry it open. And at first it hurts. The day hurts, the light hurts, the air hurts. It's all uncomfortable. It's all unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar not because it's different. It's unfamiliar because you're different now. Like you're not the same thing coming out as you were going in. And you finally pull away this cocoon and toss it off. And you feel all sorts of awkward because you have a new body. You have this new body and no manual on what to do with it. But with this body, you don't just have the million legs or whatever you had. You have 4 or 6, whatever many. But you have these things protruding out your back. These big, massive things that are bigger than you. You have wings. And for whatever reason, you decide to move them, and you can see that, oh shit, I can fly. In your previous life, you spent it crawling on the ground, maybe from one tree to another tree, from one blade of grass to another blade of grass. That was your life. Maybe around a bush. That was your world. And now You can rise above trees. The same birds that used to chase after you, you can fly amongst them or fly away from them. And you get this crazy idea to just go to some place that you never even knew existed. Thousands of miles away. Leave this place and just fly. Just fly to not just another tree, not to another forest, to a whole other land that you only could just dream of. And so you do. And you travel farther than some humans travel. And you fly down to this place thousands of miles away, and you meet other things just like you. They got the same message that, hey, let's go hang out down here. You know, and they have some festival. It's the Day of the Dead or whatever. And you all dance and pollinate stuff or whatever you do. But this was an impossible thing at first in your previous life. It was impossible for you to go to this fantasy land. But the only way you can get to this fantasy land was from being in that cocoon and dealing with it. And so it's when I'm stuck, I think of it as my cocoon, that it may seem that like this is the end, this is my world, I'm in the dark, but I don't know what's going to happen on the other side of that. I don't know who I'm going to be once I come out of that. But there's always a chance that I'll come out with the ability to go to places I never dreamed I could go to.